right, welcome back to Restorative Movement Training. Per usual, we've got Coach Taylor Ramirez and Coach Jonathan Sealis on today to discuss how to stay committed to your fitness goals. And before we dive into this week's topic, last week we had discussed why you can't train for multiple goals at once. If you haven't seen that video yet, you should be able to click on the page and find it. Taylor, I know you were transitioning into some explosive power-based training. How's that been going for you?
Going good, man. Thank you. Yeah, this is Thursday. First day of that new program was on Monday. So it was kind of Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I do more of a strength-based training. Mm-hmm. So working on improving bench, squat, deadlifts. Tuesday and Thursday is more like my plyometric explosive training days. So I'll do minimal weightlifting, a lot of body weight plyometrics, just to, get ready for the upcoming football season, if there is a season.
Is the arthritis kicking in yet?
No, not yet. Still like a spring chicken, so I'm chilling.
There you go. But how do you manage the cumulative load on your joints going between like that really explosive lifting and then also the plyometric training?
Yeah, it kind of, a lot of it just has to do with programming and recovery. I think that I've kind of have enough experience to know, like, all right, so if I'm going to do, just say hang clean for explosive reps, that's going to be the only exercise I'm going to do for that set, and then just taper down and do just like, lower volume for the plyometrics. Based on the research I've done is you really only need about 3 to 5 reps per leg on any kind of plyometric training. So I've been really using that to help with that load on my body. And so far, I feel great.
Perfect. Yeah, man. So basically, don't ego lift. Don't lift more than you're capable of. Keep the lifts explosive and then walk away.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Be smart.
Perfect. And I know, John, something similar for you. You were discussing how you were looking to improve your kettlebell technique and your snatches. How's that been going?
Going really good, man. So with kettlebells in particular, I want to become more efficient with snatching, basically pulling the belt overhead. So I've been really focusing lately in terms of keeping as close as you can to the body. A lot of rookies make the mistake and snatch with the arm fully extended, so the belt's a lot further away from the body, which isn't technically wrong. It's not wrong, but to become faster and more efficient, you want to keep it as close as you can. So I've been working on that technique quite a bit, and I'm feeling better. Actually applying some new techniques that I've learned on my own to my clients. I can see a significant improvement. And for the record, the more efficient you are, the easier it is to execute the movement. So you're not leaking energy. In terms of Olympic lifting, so I took a break from snatching. So I'm into like power clean at the moment. I'm just giving my toes a breather. So I'm 38. I can't maintain that overhead load for that long.
Time to start your weekly HGH injections.
Yeah, exactly. Or I could just be a weenie, but it's been almost 4 weeks now from snatching the barbell. I've been snatching with the kettlebell, but not with the barbell. But I have been doing overhead squats on the bar, and just my ultimate goal, as you guys know, is just to become the fittest dad on the planet. So that's
heck yeah, man.
I see you're repping the Arnold shirt for that as well too. Just need you to flex the whole rest of the episode. Good to go. I think you had briefly mentioned too something about stopping in one of our old stomping grounds to get a workout in. How'd that go?
Yes, yesterday I just was in the neighborhood and I went to 24 Hour Fitness. I wanted to drop in, just get a quick workout in. I don't have a membership there at any gym, but I wanted to just drop in because, as I mentioned, now I had some downtime. And I don't want to sound snotty because I all started somewhere, but I'm looking around because there was trainers everywhere. This is kind of why I'm bringing this up. There was a lot of members who absolutely looked helpless, and it was so noticeable whether people were running or even bicep curling or squatting. It looked kind of sad. It was more sad for me because there were trainers kind of roaming around. So I felt more of like, it's not the members' fault, right? It's the coach's fault who are literally present, roaming around, who just failed to engage or whatever the case is. But I see a guy, I think he was clean and jerking, but it looks so bad. And he kept looking at me, and I actually was talking to him to kind of give him a few pointers. Again, I don't want to sound snotty, but you got to be careful with this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm still a student. I'm not, the king of it all. And he was like, "Hey, man, thanks so much. I've been coming here for quite some time, considering COVID, and no one's ever approached me." I'm like, there it is. That's kind of why I'm bringing this up today. And it's really sad. It was just like right on your face. And as we're professionals, we can kind of spot it, from afar. It just looked like a shit show. It was just so.
Got
I
it.
just smash on 24 because I used to manage there. But I'm just saying, this particular location at this particular time, it could have been right. Because it's not always like that. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But come on, trainers, step it up. So,
well, not only that, man. Every single gym location is going to have flops, basically, and that's awesome that guy was able to get past his ego to the point of where he was able to accept help from you. So I have a really funny story for you, actually, in Equinox when I was doing a floor shift. There's this member, he's 6'4", fairly well built. You could tell he exercised, but he's doing back squats. And it was one of the worst back squats I have ever seen in my life. This dude's got 135 pounds on. He's squatting down maybe a quarter depth, and both of his knees are like collapsing or they're almost hitting each. I mean, it looked horrific. So I was like, oh, God. All right, here we go. So I walk up to him like, hey, man, looks like you're training super hard. How those squats feeling? Oh, they're great, man. I'm trying to get to 200. That's an awesome goal, dude. Do you mind if I give you a couple tips to help, get you there faster? Nah, dude. I don't need help from you. I cycle competitively. I know more than you.
Gotcha.
I was like, bro, you're going to blow out your knees any second now, but okay.
Damn.
So,
wow.
In general, it's that intimidation portion, right? Like the guy I was talking to today. I think it's like the approach, right? I swear these people know. And I think what you did was perfect, but I think he probably had a bad experience because if he came across the way you were explaining, I would have been like, sweet, what do you got? I mean, even for me, right? I have to start somewhere. And I remember a few coaches walk up to me, from the worst end of the spectrum rudely, and then the positive end of the spectrum, like very politely. And, people are very guarded, man. But, nonetheless, these guys were helpless. Guys and girls look helpless.
Yeah.
I know you'd briefly, we'd had some discussions about helping people learn how to seek out and find trainers. Because I think it's a two-way street. Obviously as coaches, we have to be able to intervene and provide help where we can, but also as someone who is trying to improve their health, you need to learn what to look for in a coach. So I'll drop a little link to your Instagram. I don't know if you want to throw that guide up there or something and throw a little coaching video together, because that is a very important skill to have. A lot of times, you seek out the trainer and you expect everyone in the field to be experts. And unfortunately, that isn't the case.
Yeah,
definitely getting educated in that realm will go. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
sure, we've all had some bad experiences. One more funny story before we dive into this week's topic, as far as bad strength and conditioning coaches go. I actually really enjoyed working with this guy. I thought he was freaking hilarious. He was my football strength and conditioning coach for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Nice. I remember vividly, he would make us run 50-yard sprints. And what he'd do is he'd blow the whistle. As soon as we get past the first 10 yards, he'd have 5 footballs on the ground, and he would just chuck the footballs at the team while they were running. If he managed to hit anyone, everyone had to restart. So you've got this swarm of 7th graders just running for their life, getting beamed in the back of the head with footballs. You got kids puking, you got kids crying, it was amazing. But also, don't do that as a coach. You're gonna get sued. So probably a bad idea. But transitioning into this week's topic, how to stay committed to your goals, especially now we've got the holiday seasons coming up. John, what do you typically recommend to your clients on being able to see themselves through the process?
I think it's, I had a conversation with a client today. It's having your goal become scalable, whether it be weekly or monthly, because again, I'm speaking on behalf of a parent. 99% of my clients are parents. The parent whole ambiance gets the best of us, and we're mentally drained. And my clients, having a hard time losing weight. So everyone wants to improve something, whether it's losing weight or building muscle. But what I like to do is it's okay to kind of scale back. So instead of saying I want to lose weight, how about just saying I want to be able to commit to three workouts for the week, or I want to be able to commit to cooking 2 meals a day, something like that. Because I think it can easily become overwhelming, and that doesn't really remove you from the ultimate goal of losing weight. So kind of just bear with me, but it just you're mentally just kind of reframing your current thought process. And I think if you do that, you're going to continue to stay on track to reaching your ultimate goal. But you have to, because your mind plays tricks on you, right? I think it honestly does. So imagine how you feel when something bad happens and you're super stressed. I mean, the last thing you want to do is eat a kale salad, and the last thing you want to do is meditate, and the last thing you want to do is
never want to eat a kale salad, man. This stuff sucks.
But you see what I'm saying? So like the mind plays tricks on you. So you want to stay committed. It's okay to reframe your goal for that week. And I think it's very important for people to be in tune and say, you know what? I'm definitely going to do what I need to do, but instead of looking at it as I need to lose 4 pounds for the week, I want to make sure I can get my 3 workouts done, completed for the week. And I think if you continue to do that, you guys, it's going to go back to the ultimate story of the hare versus the turtle. You're going to win. You will absolutely win, but you have to be able to honestly say, like, look, I got to mentally reframe my thought process so that I can, just get by for the week or whatnot, and you will always win. And literally, it was like a light bulb hit. She was like, my God, that's so true. Because every time, we all have those clients, right? And for the coaches listening, people are going to come in frustrated, haven't lost weight, or whatever the case is. I mean, the work is being done, but sometimes, like, just stop thinking about it. Just reframe your thought process. Just, focus on nutrition. Like, I want to make sure I'm cooking X amount of times during the week, or I want to eat X amount of times during the week, eat out less. So do that, and you will still stay on course. Start like that, and that would also align yourself with the ultimate commitment level.
Yeah. So correct me if I'm wrong. Just breaking it down, basically, aiding your clients and choosing one specific goal as far as weight loss, and then figuring out what it is that they can do within that day based off of their resources, how they're feeling, etc. That's going to help guide them towards that goal.
Right.
And then basically the reinforcing factor is the fact that they continue to see progress with that method.
Exactly. And again, this sounds so simple and it sounds cheesy, but it works, dude. I mean, we all do this without even knowing. Like, okay, I need to focus, right? We all had that stressful moment and you got to get something done. And what do we do? Okay, hold on. I got to take a step back. I need to focus. And you can use those same principles with your ultimate goal, your fitness goal, right? So look, let me take a step back. Let me refocus. Nothing bad's going to happen, right? I've been working my ass off, but let me just scale things back. And that's okay. I don't think I don't want to use the P word, but it's not becoming a P-U-S, whatever. It's just
No, I got
you. Really locking in and being okay with that. And I think if you do that, you're going to be a lot more motivated. You're going to overcome a lot more obstacles because you're really being honest with yourself. And you're still doing the work. You're just reframing the thought process so that you can continue to move. So
yeah, 100%, man. Taylor, what do you do personally to stay committed, and how do you guide your clients to staying committed as well?
Yes, man. So, I think Jonathan hit that pretty much on the head. I mean, everything he said, 100% agree with. And I might be kind of repeating what he said, but just rephrasing it a little bit. So if I do, my apologies, bear with me. But for me personally, I'm a big guy on visualizing, right? So for me, I get a lot of intrinsic motivation. So for instance, one of my current goals is bench press 315. That's been a goal of mine for as long as I can remember. And I've gotten close, but given COVID, I kind of had to take a couple steps back, and now it's basically at square one, right? All good, no. But I just enjoy, or I just visualize, like, all right, when I get that 2-rep max on 315, like, how are you going to feel? Like, is it going to be worth it? Hell yeah, it's going to be worth it. So that helps me, keeps me going and get to that goal, right? Now,
got the Conor McGregor method going.
Exactly. With that being said, though, like, I know I'm not going to do like an 8-week strength training cycle and, expect to be benching 315 when my current max is 265, right? Unless I was on something, and I'm not. So I like
that
taking
trenbolone acetate,
right? So I like taking small victories, right? So if I see a 10 or 5, anywhere between a 5% and a 15% strength increase after each training block, that's a victory in my book. That's one step closer to getting to that goal of bench pressing at 315.
Mhm.
I kind of take that same approach when talking to my clients. So if I have a client who wants to lose, like, let's just say 10 to 20 pounds in like a year,
Mhm.
on average. Like, all right, super cool. Let's focus on the small victories, keep you motivated, and let's just that way you see you're making progress toward that your ultimate weight loss goal.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, and then just staying committed. Always gotta kind of shake up the goals a little bit, right? So like John was saying, let's say this week's goal is for you to get in 3 workout sessions. Next week goal, hey, let's bump you back from eating out 5 times a week to just doing 4 times a week. And then just kind of doing little weekly tasks lead up to the ultimate goal.
Gotcha. So, yeah, definitely. I mean, so one of the cool things as far as repetition between what both you and John said is just the simple fact that it is repetition, right? That's how you stay committed. That's how you see progress, doing the same crap over and over and over again. One of the big primary differences, like you mentioned, is going to be the visualization aspect. So I got a couple questions on those. First, do you have your clients only visualize their large goals, or do you have them uh, envision their smaller ones that you were just breaking down as well too?
Yeah, so I do both. Yeah, 100% do both.
Okay.
I also yeah, when it comes to that, because I have a client right now, we're working on weight loss for her, and I also like kind of saying, hey, so how did you feel after, just eating out 3 times instead of 5? Oh, I felt great. I feel like leaner, less bloated. I'm like, perfect. Now imagine how you would feel if you minimized your eating out to just 2 times a week, 1 time a week to once a month. And
Mhm.
that gets her on board and gets her re excited and committed to her goal. So yeah,
Gotcha.
to answer your question.
So that was the second part of my question as well too, is how do you go about initiating a visualization practice? Are you uh, I guess I'll just let you go ahead and dive right in from there before I influence the answer too much.
No, yeah, you're good, man. So I mean, for if this is the right or wrong way, I don't know. But for me, I just based on like past experience, like I remember what it felt like to be able to bench press 135,
Mhm.
225. So I remember those feelings, and then I kind of just like combine those feelings together of how I'm going to feel when I do 315, right? So just based on past experiences of accomplishing past goals.
Mhm.
Same idea with my clients. I mean, we've all accomplished at least one thing in our life, right? So
Mhm.
I like to like bring that up, like, hey, like, what's one thing that you didn't think you could do, like back in the day or even recently, and you ended up accomplishing it. And
Mhm.
they kind of take a moment and like, all right, yeah, like I see what you mean, and that kind of gets them like, all right, so I can do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I've got a really cool addition to both of those that I think you guys may already be aware of this or be doing it already, but it kind of builds off of both of those. So obviously we've got John's aspect of repetition, making everything manageable. We got Taylor where you're visualizing success and you're feeling and experiencing that success. I think we can all somewhat agree that initiating those beginner health habits is not an enjoyable process, right? Like if
right,
someone's used to going out and eating McDonald's every day and they get that big sugar rush and then now they're eating salads, that's not going to be a pleasurable experience, even
right,
though
for sure.
that's something that will benefit them towards their goals. So, what I like to personally do is find ways to initiate that pleasure response within my clients. And all of them are different. Some of them it's drinking a soda, some of them it's getting a massage, some of them it's buying a new shirt, et cetera, et cetera. And you link that to their habits that they just absolutely hate. So I've got like one client who has been trying to quit drinking for forever and has just never done it because she knows the benefits that she can reap from it. She visualizes it. She knows she's going to feel better. She knows she's going to get better sleep. But the immediate pleasure response from drinking the alcohol is outweighing the long term visualization. So
Gotcha.
what she came up with is she absolutely loves getting pedicures, manicures, massages, etc., but she rarely ever goes and does it. So for every 7 days that she successfully is able to complete not drinking, she goes out and treats herself to one of those pleasurable activities.
Oh, super dope. Okay.
Yeah.
Like it.
So you're removing one pleasure source and linking another to a habit that's not necessarily as enjoyable, right? So then you kind of
Gotcha.
get that conditioned response of like, hey, I did something great. Let's go celebrate. Like you mentioned, celebrating the small wins. And I've found that to be huge for myself as well as my clients. John, you look like you got something you want to chime in with.
Funny in my head. So you're saying like, okay, so you're gonna have some busted up toes unless you stop drinking.
Not necessarily, you know, like I said, it's different for everyone, but yeah, no, I got you. It's just finding something that elicits that pleasure response, because doing all of this work while in the end result is very pleasurable and it will lead you to a better life. It's not pleasurable work 9 times out of 10. Like going in, grinding out in the gym, like it hurts. It's tiring. It's exhausting,
bro.
And I'm sure John can attest to this. For a lot of our clients, you throw in a family, you throw in kids, you throw in job, and it's like everything in your life is beating you down. And you can have your one outlet where it's, you know, going home having ice cream, or you have your one outlet drinking beer, and you take that away and replace it with a kale salad. Now your whole life is just miserable work.
Right, yeah.
How often have you read that, like in terms of the reward system? Like you always read two sides to that story. And I'm a firm believer, like you have to reward someone, you know, with something that they do enjoy, you know, whether it's ice cream or whatnot, or a pedicure, or, you know, a specific clothing item. I feel it's very important. You got to keep them motivated, and there comes a point, right? But you can't be like, okay, if I work out for 2 days in a row, I'm gonna go splitters. Like, no. But I think the reward system is like, you know, it's that high five to themselves, and I think it's super important. Sometimes when I read some articles and it's kind of the opposite, like, oh no, you're only gonna lead them to failure because then they're always gonna want something in reward. Like I suppose, but it also depends on what, you know, the frequency of the length of the reward, what the reward is, and the ultimate, you know, what's the main purpose. But I'm all for it. I think that's brilliant. Yeah, I'm just, you know, I got to go back to that because I haven't been doing that reward system actually at all. So I'm going to go back to it and figure out a clever way to insert that. I like it.
It goes a long way, and it really shows like you to yourself when you're training, and then also you to your clients, that you actually do care about the process as well too.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, yes, there is hedonic tolerance where like, oh, I completed one workout today, I'm going to go get ice cream. And ice cream's a huge surge of enjoyment. And that's going to be a better surge of enjoyment than like being able to take a nap or something, right? So you have to be smart about choosing your rewards. You have to be smart about choosing the frequency of your rewards. But if there's no rewards, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah. Because us, even coaches, fitness professionals, they will indulge on apparel. I don't. I like ice cream. That's like my thing. Or punch, even my jam. That's really my jam. But like we feel great. I mean, we start like getting antsy. We're excited. So if we're excited, that means our clients are also excited. So why not share that same, you know, endorphin high? So
exactly. It stacks, man. Before we transition into our little closeout here, is there anything else either of you would like to add?
I'm good. Fit Dad?
Yeah, I got a question for Taylor. So Taylor, how old are you again, buddy?
12.
Yeah, right. 24.
Weak, dude. So the reason why I say you're weak is when I was 21, a couple of days after my birthday, talking about your bench press goal, I hit 315, and I'm never going to forget this, dude. I was at the gym, and I've already attempted 4 separate times, and I failed. And I went to the gym. It was on a Friday because I had a class right after. And I went to the gym and I asked this dude for a spot. And this dude looked at me and just looked down on me. He's like, you're not going to get that. And I knew right then and then I was going to lift it.
There you go. Nice.
He goes, okay, you want to lift up? I said, you're not touching this damn bar. I just need you there for assurance. And I'll do clean. And he looked at me like, oh my God, he did it.
Nice.
I was 21 years old, buddy. Let's go.
Damn. I know, man. I know.
Not all of us have the natural occurring fit dad Tren Malone in our systems. John just runs on pure anabolic steroids. There's no blood in his system. All right. So for today's speed round, John had mentioned one of his clients was curious as to new cooking resources. So we're going to go 2 minutes each Just list out your best cooking recommendations, and we'll transition on to the next. Taylor, you're up first.
Oh man. All right. So I I'm that kind of guy. I like looking up I'll use Steve Cook as an example. I like looking up guys like Steve Cook and kind of look at their cooking videos just to see what they're all about, you know? And I like getting ideas from there and then kind of based on what I know, tweaking it a little bit based on my goals, or if I'm just like, yo, that's way too much fat. Let's like cut that back a little bit, you know? So
So,
that's
what's your process for selecting someone on YouTube? Like, what makes you want to follow someone's advice versus someone else's?
Yeah, so just based on their content, based on like who they are. So for instance, Steve Cook was a one of the trainers on the rehab season of The Biggest Loser.
Hmm.
So I like to think that he's pretty well off, well respected within the fitness industry. And I know too that he is a certified personal trainer and a certified strength and conditioning specialist. So I see his credentials. Whether or not that's all legit, I don't know. But to me, I like what he does. So that's one guy. And then there's another guy named Nick Bear. He actually owns his own supplement company. And like Fit Dad, he got a degree in nutrition. So I also follow him a lot too with his cooking videos and his nutrition advice as well. That's
Sweet.
your question. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, you utilize YouTube and mirroring people who have similar goals and philosophies to you that have already reached that level of peak success.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say mirroring, just because like I'm not taking their recipe verbatim. Like
Mhm.
I'll make something very close to it, but again, like I said, I think I have enough knowledge on the macros and what I should and shouldn't have that I can kind of tweak it to make it my own. If that makes sense. But yeah, for the most part, I look to them for guidance, and then Google is always going to be your best friend no matter what.
Of course, of course. All right, John, you're on the clock.
Yeah, I love it. I think following nutritionists or fitness enthusiasts who are big advocates of meal prepping. So that's what I typically give my clients. For example, I like Primal Kitchen. So that's Mark Sisson's little empire for like a cooking network, to say the least. And like Taylor, I'm not partial to one thing. I just like sampling a variety to give my clients and myself to make things tasty.
Hmm.
So Primal Kitchen is my go-to source. So I follow them. They also have an amazing YouTube channel. I can't remember the top of my head, but I do follow a few vegan sources as well. Again, I'm not vegan, but again, I want a variety of recipes when I cook my beans or salad.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's super
I
important too
respect it.
when you give to your clients because again, giving them a lot of good information and to like Taylor saying, is sometimes you can just adjust the recipe to your liking, right? But you just need something quick, fast, in a hurry.
Hmm.
Another thing I like to do is I have a smoothie cookbook or a smoothie outlet that I look at too. So you have
Sick.
your whole food, you have vegan, and then we have like a smoothie base. So you're kind of cycling through these things, on and off. But can't remember the name of that vegan social media sort. It'll come back to me. But
Okay.
that's what I like to do with my clients at first. And again, I recommend that's a good starting point in conjunction with following some type of like nutritional resource. I like following Weston A. Price. Now, this isn't for like the average Joe in terms of material,
Hmm.
but kind of getting them a source in case they have a question or in case they want to further expand their knowledge too. Because they're talking to me, I give them some recommendations for like social media outlets, YouTube outlets, cookbooks, and now like a general unbiased source that does include a variety of foods, whether you eat meat or not. It's pretty safe, and
Hmm.
it's amazing too. And that's kind of what I typically do for my clients, and they love it. And then when they come back to me, they can just ask simple questions like, hey, meal frequency and all that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's what I typically do. And some of my online programs, I built in like weekly, try this, try that in terms of meals,
Hmm.
and they freaking love it, dude.
Okay.
Nice.
My clients have the power to look it up, but when
Hmm.
it's just given to them, it's a lot easier, right? So if I give you the recipe,
Definitely.
searching it on the computer.
Hmm.
So we're ending summer, but I've given like mango sherbets, papaya salads, stuff that is in season, and it's not my creation. I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
take stuff, give credits to those who made it out there. My
Hmm.
clients love it, dude. Avocado fries. I haven't even made that yet, but my clients like, oh my god, the best thing in the world.
Wow. Damn.
That type of stuff gets them excited, more motivated to make healthier choices, right,
Hmm.
with their nutrition. So
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So basically, public figures, cookbooks, and then figuring out your individual food groups, what you consume, and then finding out whoever the expert is that's preparing those foods.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, mine's going to sound real basic compared to yours, but what I love going out to eat, man. I love restaurants. I love the experience. I think it's a great time. I love going out, finding a dish that I just absolutely love, and then figuring out how to make it on my own and make it a little bit more reasonable health-wise.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
You can keep it as simple as like going to Chipotle, figuring out what your Chipotle bowl is and making that at home with better portion serving size as opposed to their 1,700 calorie burrito bowl bomb. Or you can do something where like eat chow. I had this phenomenal steak salad the other night. So it's like, okay, cool. Guess I'm going to make steak salad all week then. So find the foods you enjoy, roll from there. Quick recap for today. If you managed to tune through this whole entire thing, we kind of discussed how to stay committed to your goals, why repetition's important, breaking your goals down into smaller steps, and then visualization, and also learning the reward system. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, do something besides just viewing this. And we'll see y'all next week.